All right, today we're diving into a hypercar that is so incredibly rare, so powerful, it almost feels like it shouldn't be real. This is the McLaren P1 HDK. It's a machine that really makes you wonder, what happens when you just completely demolish the limits of what a road car can be? And we have to start with the number that says it all. 1,000 brake horsepower. Now, to put that into perspective, that is almost 100 more than the quote-unquote standard P1, a car that most people, myself included, thought was pretty much perfect. This number right here, it puts the HDK in a club so exclusive, it's almost a club of one.
So what is a P1 HDK really? Well, think of it like a greatest hits album for a hypercar. You start with the chassis of a road-legal P1, then you bolt on the insane, aggressive, high downforce bodywork from the track-only P1 GTR, and for the grand finale, you give it a heart transplant from the absolute legends over at Cosworth. It's the best of every world, all rolled into one.
And yeah, a car this special, this unique, it's gonna have a price tag to match. We're talking over $3 million. At that point, you're not just buying a car, you're buying a piece of automotive art, a true piece of history. This is what a unicorn looks like on a price sheet.
But you know, to really get what the P1 HDK is all about, we gotta go back in time. Because its story doesn't actually start with a P1. Nope, it starts with its spiritual predecessor, a car that totally rewrote the rulebook for supercars back in the 90s. And that car is, of course, the McLaren F1. I mean, it wasn't just the fastest car in the world for years, it was a complete technical marvel. It was the first road car ever to be built around a carbon fiber monocoque, technology pulled straight from Formula One. That innovation is the core of every single modern McLaren, and the P1 was designed to carry that torch. And this right here, this is where the name comes from. See, for the F1 owners who wanted even more ridiculous performance, something that looked and felt like the Le Mans winning race cars, McLaren offered a high downforce kit, an HDK. It added that massive fixed rear wing and a whole bunch of other aero bits to literally glue the car to the pavement at speed.
And we're not talking about a common option here. This was unbelievably exclusive. How exclusive? Just 9. That's it. Only 9 McLaren F1s ever got this factory-fitted kit, which makes them, to this day, some of the most sought-after cars on the entire planet.
So now it all comes full circle. To pay respect to those original 9 F1s, the masters at Lanzante decided they would only ever build 9 P1 HDKs. That insane rarity, it's not a marketing gimmick, it is baked right into the very DNA of this car. It's a tribute.
Okay, so we've got the history lesson, but what actually makes this car different under the skin? How did Lanzante and Cosworth manage to take the P1, which was already nuts, and crank the dial way past 10, all the way to 11?
The real magic here is in the mix. They took the P1 GTR, a car McLaren designed to live only on a racetrack, and they carefully adapted its entire aero package, including that frankly gigantic rear wing, to fit on the street-legal P1. So you end up with the downforce of a full-blown race car, but you can put license plates on it.
And to get that magic 1,000 horsepower number, Lanzante knew exactly who to call, the engine wizards at Cosworth. And listen, this was not just some simple software tune. This is a full-on re-engineering of the V8. They bored it out to 4.0 liters, they threw in lightweight titanium parts so it can rev to the moon. I mean, this is a top-to-bottom rebuild. It's not an upgrade, it is a motorsport-grade heart transplant. And here it is, the result of all that incredible engineering. You can see the jump right there, from the P1's already mighty 903 horsepower, all the way up to a nice round 1,000 for the HDK. It's a huge leap that you don't just see on a chart like this, it's something you would feel in the pit of your stomach. But you know, a car like this, it's about so much more than specs on a page. It's about a philosophy, right? An entire experience. And thanks to a fantastic interview with one of the 9 owners, we get this really rare peek into that mindset. This quote from the owner, Shannon, it just says everything, doesn't it? These cars, even though they are worth millions and millions of dollars, they are not meant to sit under a cover in a climate-controlled garage. They are built to be driven, to be felt, to be pushed to their limits. And that's really what makes the P1 HDK the absolute perfect car for that philosophy. It has all the raw capability of a thoroughbred race car, but because it's street legal, you don't need a crew and a trailer. You can drive it to the track, unleash hell, and then just drive it home. It's incredible. And that's the key, right?
That experience is what connects all the cold, hard engineering to a real human emotion. It's about feeling those thousands of hours of design, of passion, of genius, all come alive right in your hands. For these owners, that feeling, that's the whole point. So when you put it all together, the history, the insane engineering, and this unique owner philosophy, what do you actually have? Well, you've got what is, pretty much without a doubt, the ultimate version of the McLaren P1.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. You had the standard P1, which was the game-changing hybrid hypercar. Then you had the GTR, the absolute no-compromise track weapon. The P1 HDK just comes along, takes the very best bits from both, cranks up the power even more, and creates a whole new level at the very top of the P1 family.
So, the formula is actually pretty simple when you break it down. You take the foundation of a P1 road car, you add the wild aerodynamics of a GTR race car, you inject the raw power of a Cosworth-built engine, you wrap it all in the history of the legendary F1, and you have it all put together by the visionaries at Lanzante. That is how you make a P1 HDK.
In the end, this car leaves us with a really fascinating question. By blending race car downforce, road car usability, and 1,000 horsepower, the P1 HDK basically seems to have it all. It makes you wonder, in a world that is always about compromise, what's even left to achieve when you finally build a car that has none?